Hi everyone, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I'm your host Shipra Makkad. We are going to talk about boundaries today and how we can learn to say no. I know saying no is not easy. I have been there. Saying no is goes against our hard wiring as humans. We are born hardwired for connection, belonging, and acceptance. And when we say no to helping others, we feel a guilt and shame inside us. And that's a very natural emotion to feel. What happens if we suppress it? That's another story altogether. But what if we learn to say no? No is a learned skill. You can learn it. You are not born with it. You grow into it with the amount of experiences you have, heartbreaks, and the kind of experiences that makes you feel like I am valuable enough. I don't need to look for validation and approval outside or need someone else to tell me how worthy I am of love, belonging, and acceptance. So I want you to take a moment, get comfortable, and then we'll start. To tackle any challenge, we first need to acknowledge that there is a challenge at the first point. If we don't acknowledge that there is a problem that needs to be solved, we are not dealing it with head on confidence. We are dealing with a step of delusion that I wish it just passed. I wish this was a dream. This was not the reality. But it is a reality. Okay. So, number one is that we'll understand what is the hard wiring of no, how we can learn to say no in situations that gives us peace of mind without making us feel like guilt and shame for being bad individuals, but also honor the other person asking for help. Because if they reached out to you and you honor the feeling, of belonging, and you are reciprocating it with respect, trust, and transparency, that this is something that I'm going through, and we'll get into it in the second part. We fear saying no because we fear that we will come off as selfish, although that's not a term in my dictionary. I don't use it for anyone or for myself. So, second, we fear that we will lose our valuable relationships. Third, we fear that people will not be with us in the times of difficulty when we need them. So these are basic challenges that we face before saying no, because we feel like, let's find a way out where I can be of help to that person, but also honor my feelings of my capacity if I can help that person. Now, moving to the second part, helping someone who is in need is one part. Saying no to someone who is taking advantage of you, who has been continuously showing a pattern that they don't care about your well being, they just want to get something out of you, and once it's done, good. If it's not, then they will take you on a guilt trip. And of course, these things, patterns get repetitive in our very close relationships, in our friends, family members, specifically our primary caregivers, which are our parents or guardians. So it takes a lot of time to kind of comprehend the no, the value of no, and the respect that comes with no when somebody else is saying that. When you respect someone else's no, and how gracefully you handle that boundary which somebody else is drawing, it gives you a flexibility, a beautiful opportunity where you can have the space when in need, that you can also say no. And many people, I come across a lot of people who says हमें ना करना नहीं आता, and they say it with a sense of martyrness, like उनसे बड़ा शहीद कोई इस दुनिया में नहीं है. And trust me, when at the end of the day they beat themselves out, they are they are feeling resented with themselves, they are having this feeling of frustration, that and they are taking it out on the people who are closest to them, those who did not do anything wrong to him or bad to him or her. Saying no comes at a price, right? Because you are also telling that you can also say no to me in future. But second, common humanity is a part we all share. It is something we can't get out of. No matter how much we grow into, how much we outsmart our presence and present growth, there will be no way, because we are humans deep down inside. We are hardwired for connection, and we are looking for a community where we can have a belonging and acceptance, where we feel like, yeah, this is my chosen family, or this is my family I was grown into, and I enjoy time spending time with them, and that is for our mental good. Third, how you say no makes all the difference in the world. So, yes, you will be left to face your own demons. You will be left to improve your communication skills. Yes, you will be left to deal with the trauma that was not your fault, but healing, it's your responsibility. So, it has a lot of disadvantages before saying no, and thus people move kind of ways down more towards like, let's just say yes and get over with it for the long run. And if you are genuinely willing to do the inner work, or if you are on a journey where you are working on yourself, you are transforming the person who you once were to a person that will rule the world one day, this video is for you. No is a very beautiful learned skill. It's a very powerful skill, and it will take you a very long way in life. Yes, we do kind of link it with other cultural beliefs or behavior patterns, but I think there is much more to that. Visualize that somebody is trying to build a house and they have bought a plot. They are trying to build a fence around the house, and it's not a threatening that they're giving to their neighbors that like you are a thief, or they're not sending a message to the world that they don't trust the world, or they have a very huge distrust in the capability of being humans, and but it's just a reminder to themselves, to the people around them, and to their surroundings, that if you want to be a part of my life, if you want to come to my house, choose the right way. Hit the doorbell, come in. Instead, pick up your call, make an appointment, and I'll be there to welcome you. That's it. There is nothing more to it, there is nothing less to it. That's it. That's boundary. So when you are saying no to the other person, remember that you are not sliding into the view of arrogance if they are asking for help. On the other way, that you are begging for help. We humans will ask for help. Asking for help is one of the most beautiful things a human can do. That's very brave, courageous, and it takes a lot of guts to stand up and be like, could you help me with this? I'm not able to understand, because you are eroding the shame inside of you by taking a stand for yourself, by voicing out your opinion, your reality, and your facts, that I'm not able to deal with this. We have all been a child once. Imagine that you are on a seesaw swing. That's life. That's the experience of being human. One is on the other end, like on the lower end, where they are asking for help and wanting to go up. The other one who is on the top, now coming down. It's not a topic of who is better and who is not a capable human, but it's just life. Okay, so the person who is asking for help deserves a sense of respect, gratitude, and grace, that, oh my god, thank you for reaching out to me, I'm so glad you asked for help. That's a huge courageous thing to do. It's not easy. Second, if you are giving help, don't go into arrogance that, oh, why should I, it's my. So to develop that humility and humbleness to deal the world, because you know that life is filled with ups and downs. If you are in the up, you will be in the down one day, and this is life. And it is not a sense of arrogance that, oh, and of course many people spend their entire lives trying to satisfy their shallow egos, and I think I have kind of sorted this out at a very young age, thanks to the people around me who have made it very transparent to me that you are satisfying your shallow ego, work on this, otherwise you're not going to go a long way. And I'm so grateful that they saw that capacity in me, and that kind of, to build a life that is not just for me but for the society and for the higher good of what's coming up in the next phase of our world in a collective energy. So Asking for help and giving help is equally powerful. It's not that if I'm giving my hand like this, because when you ask for blessings from God, you are doing it like this. It's called, isi posture mein hota hai. Like you are begging for help when somebody asks. And when you give, your hands turn out like this. So it's called surrender. Like it's not in the position of control. So I feel that balance needs to be made, because it is one day that you will be on the other part of life. It's just basic acceptance of the common fact of while we are on this earth. Next part is, how do we say no and stop people pleasing? If you have been through a traumatic childhood or have difficulty trusting people, I know that when you find a good person, you please that person and you ignore your real feelings, because you don't want to lose that person or relationship, because you know how painful it is to be alone or to be in that situation where you were before you met with this person, or it is a job, or it is a whatever it could be, job, experience, life, people, relationships, and it has wider ranges to it as we grow. But I think in the words of Brené Brown, vulnerability is standing strong in the field of shame, in the field of life, and saying, I'm here, risking my present self, my present reality in an intensity that is honoring my experience, my human experience, and also making the giving the opportunity to the other person, making them feel good. While you are saying no's very bravely, very courageously, you need to choose your yeses selectively. Life is being given as an opportunity to us, where you can't have the audacity to lie back and say like no to everything, and you'll be like lying on the bed all day and just be like, I just said no. It can't work that way. And it should not and must not work that way. So you have to select what you are going to do with the energy that you are left with once you have said no to the objects, people, experiences that do not serve you. But because you have that abundance of energy, you are going to put into some projects that are meaningful to you, that adds value into the product, and that makes this world a beautiful place to live in. So choose your yeses selectively, where you are investing your energy, time, and efforts. So that comes with it. How to say no. This is the book of no. It's 365 ways to say it, mean it, and stop people pleasing forever. It's by Susan Newman. She has done PhD with Christina Skrindrel. This book has been a life changer in my life. I picked it out on an impulse while I was on the airport. I needed a book to read on the go, and I picked it book on the counter, and I never knew that it will come so handy to me, because at that time I did not have any understanding that I have a right to say no. I am allowed to say no. It is one of my biggest freedom as a human, that when I say no, it's a full sentence, it's a period. So this book has a lot of different chapters with parents, with family members, with children, with really difficult people at work, with siblings, and with friends. So it has a lot of different scenarios where they will tell you what is the scenario and what's going on, and they will also give you a response and an alert kind of statement that you have to be careful about this. This is a random page that I picked up. It's with stepping into no. It's the basics for it. The scenario is, will you show me how to use my new laptop? What's going on here? You thought you were being a good guy. You gave your friend a steal on your old computer or electronic equipment. She thinks because you once owned it, you are responsible for its performance. Seemingly manageable requests have a way of escalating out of proportion into time-consuming commitments. Phone calls with questions about lost files, malfunctioning internet connections, viruses. All that could go wrongly likely will, especially if you're dealing with someone who normally requires a lot of hand holding. Basically, this is about like somebody you sell your old car to, and they are asking you questions, making you feel accountable for everything that goes wrong. So if this is a person who requires hand holding and a lot of validation, like no, they want you to validate their purchase. So the response could be, no, I think you will learn faster from a professional or someone more tech savvy than I am. Okay, just schedule response according to the book. And they have also given alert. Be very specific about the amount of time you are willing to invest in someone else's computer literacy. If you are doing anything and if it's not giving you that kind of It's not adding any kind of value into you. Be vocal, make it clear in a very humble and respectful manner so the other person knows that you're not going to waste your time on this or have time or energy for the unnecessary conversations or conflicts, but you are also letting them know that they can learn from somewhere outside, and I'm sure they will help you out if it's an emergency situation. Like learning about no, it's like it comes through practice. You cannot learn how to say no just by books. However, there are a lot of workbooks present in the market by Terry Cole, Boundary Boss. She has a workbook. I'm going to attach all the links, the affiliate links from all these products on the YouTube description so that you can go have a look and click for your purchase. Take care of yourself. Find that practice of saying no, be it from the starting simple. You don't have to just right away. If you're new to trekking, you just don't trek to Mount Everest, right? You go turn with simple tricks and build that stamina within you. Similarly goes with no. If you're new to no, saying no, try to say no to a person, like a person who's asking for food on the road. How can you say no to that person in a manner that is not disrespectful to them or you? So start with tinier no's, and you can start these conversations and dialogues in the comment section. I will help you out with those circumstances if there is something that I can do on my behalf. And if other people who are watching our videos and the audience would love to help you out, this is such a common challenge in human community of saying no. We all struggle with it. We still deal with it no matter where you reach in life. You will have trouble saying no. As I said in the earlier part of the video, is goes against our hard wiring for connection of being human, and you cannot outgrow your humanity. That is the reality and radical truth, and that is the truth of being a human in this world. Take care of yourself. I send you so much love, light, and healing energy from my heart to yours. Courage, resilience, and strength to find that inwards in your heart, in your being, in your mind, body, and soul. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.